Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to everybody who watched this presentation. Alright, this lesson is continuous lesson based on previous slide before this. Alright, previously we have discussed about possessive pronoun, personal pronouns, subject and object, and also reflexive pronoun. But for this lesson, we are going to continue for another type of pronoun, which is first demonstrative pronoun and second relative pronoun. We have a four word that you should learn. First is these, second is these, third is that, and fourth is those. All right, every word has their own function and when you should use this word. All right, I'm going to explain in detail after this. All right, the first word that we are going to learn is this. Okay, example here, this is my new laptop. Okay, first you use this with singular nouns, okay, which is laptop. Okay, second, you use this when you want to refer to the thing which is very near to yourself. For example, this girl, she laid down, sorry, she is facing very near to her laptop. Okay, that's why we use this. If you locate this laptop quite far away from you yourself, you cannot say this. Okay, because the distance is very important if you want to use this demonstrative pronoun. Moving on to next demonstrative pronoun, which is these. Okay, it sounds quite similar with this, but you have to pronounce it clearly. These. All right. So these work with plural noun, which is in this example jackets. All right. So when you use jackets, sorry, when you use plural noun, you have to use these. And also again, this is similar. The distance is similar. The thing that you want to show is quite near to yourself. So you use this. But then for plural nouns. The demonstrative pronoun is that. Okay, you use that first with singular noun, which is in this example football star, and then when you want to show someone or something which is quite far away. For example, imagine this kid in the stadium. All right, he want to show that this is actually that is his favorite football star. So maybe the football player is playing on the field, so he's in the stadium, so it's quite far away. So in this situation, you can use that, right? That is my favorite football star. And last but not least is those. Okay, those again is used for a plural noun. In this context is dresses. All right, and then the location of the thing that you want to show is also quite far away. So you can say those are my favorite dresses. Maybe you want to show these dresses in your closet and you stay far away from the closet, so you say those are my favorite dresses. All right, so we have finished with demonstrative pronoun. We learned about these, that, and those. We move to another type of pronoun, which is relative pronoun. Understand the function of relative pronoun. Okay, I need you to read those sentences. All right, first, I met a woman who can speak Japanese. Second, she bought a car which was red. This is the book that I read last week. There's the man that sold me my bike. And this is Mr. Smith whose son worked in my office. All right, we are going to look at which is the relative pronoun here. Okay, the first sentence is who. Second is which. All right, and then we have that. Fourth, we have also that, and then we have whose. All right, now I want you to try I want you to translate all these words in your mother tongue, which is Malay. So what is actually similarity when you try to translate all these words to your first language, which is Malay? Okay, you can get similar answer, which is all right, young. Right, for example, I met a woman who can speak Japanese. Saya bertemu dengan perempuan yang boleh bercakap bahasa Jepun. Right, the second one, she bought a car which was red. Dia membeli kereta yang warnanya merah. So you use young, right? But then, you know, in English, the word young, if you translate in English, they have a different connotation and a different meaning, where there are situations where when you can use who, when you can use which, that, and whose. All right, we are going to look at all these words, how you can use it in correct context. Want to learn is who. All right, who used only for people. All right, make sure the word before who is actually human or people. For example, I met a woman who looks like your mother. So the word before who is woman. So woman is the example of people, of human. So you have to use who. Differently with which, right? You use which only for thing or animals. All right. So make sure the word before which is actually whether thing or animal. So you can say in this example, the book. So the book is thing, right? Which you gave me was excellent. Again, if you translate to Malay, who and which is young. Okay, first saya bertemu dengan perempuan yang mukanya seperti muka your mother. And the second sentence, buku yang, right? So both young if you translate to Malay, but then the way you use it in English is very different. Okay, so you have to focus on the word before who or which. If the word before who is humans, so you have to use who. If the word before the blank is actually thing or animal, you have to use which. Next, and the next word in the relative pronoun, we have whose. All right, whose used to state that something belongs to someone, and it may refer to people, animal, or thing. All right, it's quite different from who and which, because of we want to show the possession. For example, that is the man whose car was stolen. Usually in whose, the word before whose is actually noun, and after whose is also noun. So whose located or situated between two nouns, which is man and car. Usually we have to use whose. Alright, and or in bahasa you might say siapa punya. Alright, for example, lelaki itu, sorry, ini adalah lelaki yang keretanya hilang. Right, so yang keretanya show the possession. Alright, the second word, the last word for a relative pronoun is that. That is quite universal because it can use for people, animal, or thing, and basically is quite informal in certain situation, or in maybe in your writing. For example, that is a man that live next door. All right, she live in a house that has a garden. All right, you can actually replace, for example, the first one with that is the man who live next door, or maybe she live in a house which has a garden. Like I said, you can choose that if you want to use in a very general sense. All right, so up to you. Okay, this is actually the example of a relative pronoun that you might use in your essay or when you want to construct sentences. What we have learned in relative pronoun is very easy. First, if you want to refer to people and you want to actually relate the ideas, people, you usually use who or that. All right, for thing, usually we use which, and again that is quite universal, like I said. And if you want to show a possession, usually we use whose. All right, and we try to relate two ideas in a sentence. That's why the name of this pronoun is a relative pronoun. Again, I want to say that this word, if you translate it to Malay, it become one meaning, which is young. But then the way you use in English is very, very different. Exercise for us to do. All right, we'll go one by one. We have 8 sentences. All right, and then you have to determine whether this sentence is correct or not by focusing on the relative pronoun that I have underlined with red underline. All right, the first one. We stayed in a hotel who had a beautiful garden. Is it correct or not? Okay, it is wrong because hotel is not human. All right, you should use which rather than who, because hotel is just a thing. All right, number 2, did I tell you about the film which we saw? Okay, no problem with this sentence because film is a thing, so you can work with which. All right, Eric said a word that I couldn't understand. No problem with this sentence because of that. Like I said, can be used with a thing or animal or human, so no problem with this sentence. All right, number 4, people who live in London are called Londoners. All right, is it correct or not? It is wrong because, like I said, whose must situated between two nouns, which is before and after. But in this sentence, people, yes, people is noun, but then live is not noun. Live is verb. So you might replace whose with maybe people who live in London are called Londoners. Could be better meaning. All right, number 5. The poem who Mark writes are very hard to understand. Okay, this sentence also wrong because of poem is not human. You cannot work with who. Okay, number 6. Here's the address which you wanted. Okay, no problem with this sentence. Okay, because of address is a thing, so you can use with which. Okay, number 7. The car who is parked outside belong to Susan. You cannot say car with who because who only for human, car is a thing, so you might replace who in this number 7 with the car which is parked. Okay, could be better. Okay, number 8, that is the man whose car was stolen. All right, this is also correct, and I guess because of whose is situated between two nouns, which is man and also car, and it show the possession. So number 8, no problem at all. Our presentation or lesson today. Okay, first, demonstrative pronouns are used either in singular form, which is these and that, or plural form, these and those. What makes them different is actually the distance when you show the thing. Okay, or you can translate it to bahasa itu ataupun ini, right? To make it easier. And then relative pronouns are used to join the idea in sentences, and common relative pronouns such as we have learned about who, which, that, whose, and actually we have many more. We are going to discuss these thing again. If you have a question, please ask me during Q&A session during live classroom. Okay guys, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.